Alright, welcome back to Olympus, everyone. Today was a pretty crazy day, right after FOMC, right? We didn't have the best trending moves. We were actually sort of a big trend move up, and then we sort of flushed end of day. But we were still able to capitalize on ES and Q and Snapchat. So let's get right into it. So Snapchat just had earnings. They were pretty bad, right? The initial reaction was awful. Big flush and sort of base. But we look in the past, right? We see Snapchat have these sort of down quite a bit from all-time highs, but sort of forming a base here. But every time they have earnings, they flush and recover. Flush, a little bit more time, but they recover, right? This one, not too much. They flush, a little bit of a basing, but no real recovery. This one, right? They flush, gap down pretty darn hard, and then gap up above where they, I guess, closed the day before earnings. So that's sort of the game plan there. It was more of a lotto per se, right? There was no real, right? Like it's gonna go up. So initial reaction was bad. We had opened two plays actually. One in the voice chat, one I sent out, but we had gotten the 10.5 calls for this Friday, expiring this day. I believe somewhere around here in the voice chat. We grabbed them for $12 a contract, and they were up. They were up nicely up here at close. We were able to get some trims off, but we swung majority of them, and we got a big day, right? So they're already in the money when they closed, basically. So they opened. We're up a couple 100% here. We hit a high of I believe 800%. I'm really aiming for 1,000, right? Not the smartest decision, but I only have one contract left. We got all our trims off at 500, 600, 700%, and I only have one contract left, and they closed the day I believe like 400 or 500%. I'm just swinging it just to see what happens to it tomorrow. No real biggie if it goes back to zero, right? So that was sort of the game plan there. And you can see, this was the last screenshot I got, but still have the position open. And we swung another set. They were for March 3rd. Those were an $11 strike, I believe, and hit a high of about 150%. I think closed the day at like 130, 115, 115%. So those I'm still holding, majority of them, and excited to see where those go. Those would be a little bit more careful with. But yeah, we got a month, so not too worried about them as of yet. They're already in the money as of now, so we'll give those a little bit more time to run. Looking at the chart, right, sort of at the upper range that they've been trading in. But this one up here, 12.8 would be pretty nice. Second target, and maybe even the scalp fill. Maybe we do it in a month, maybe we don't, right? Who knows? So we'll let those play out. Right, back to ES and NQ. So we had a FOMC yesterday, right? We had this insane rally up, big rally. Overnight session pretty flat, right? Gapped up, but sort of retraced, and then sort of popped, made this little intermittent high at sort of yesterday's high. So come down here, fill up this bad structure, and we pop a little bit in the morning, but as we open, we sort of start flagging. So these white lines are my levels that I stated before the market opened. I guess it was a couple minutes after market opened. So sort of flag, right? Come down to my level, bounce up and down between, and no trades were taken here. We sort of watched this breakout. A couple guys caught this big trade. Great, right? I was able to catch this little trade. So we start to flag again, right? We hit our first profit target basically, and sort of aiming for that second one at 4,200 psych level. No real TA there, is just a psych level, and that's why it's on the chart. So we start flagging, get the initial break, right, but it's not too strong. Sort of reject at these past highs once again. So what I was looking for, right, was a retracement back to this trend line that we'd broken out of, and then a look to go long. So that's what we did. But instead of playing ES. I played NQ today, right? A little bit stronger, and up a lot more on the day. Obviously, with this flush with tech earnings today, Amazon, Apple, and Google. After, or I guess the overnight session, we're flushing a little bit harder now. But right during the day, a lot stronger than ES today. So I had gotten in, I believe, Trade of 8 doesn't show executions on previous days. So once today's session closed, it got rid of my orders and such. So we had played this little bounce off the trend line, and that coincides with, let's see, 48 right here on NQ. So as you can see, I grabbed 2 NQ cons right here. Really minimal drawdown, right? We got out on the first, we trimmed one on the first initial pop, right up here, and was out of the second one on sort of this other big candle. Would have been nice to catch the whole move, right? I believe this was like somewhere here. Would have been nice to catch the whole move. We didn't. We still came out green. So that was one of the few futures trades I took today. 1 for 2 on futures. The other one was a tiny loss on ES. So not too much to discuss there. But so we come up to this 408.5. And we flush hard. Everything flushes, right? Sellers finally stepped in after all the green days we've had. Something like this was warranted, and probably we'll see what happens tomorrow with a reaction or digestion of these tech earnings. Amazon, Apple, Google all sort of look the same, right? We flushed down. Apple sort of recovered during the conference callers. It sort of came back down again. So yeah, all these. Boom, down, recovered, down. So I'd like to see what we do tomorrow on these names, whether some of them recover. I'll take a look and listen to the conference calls on earnings reports, but as of now, I have not done that yet, so we'll get to that later tonight. So excited for tomorrow. I think we have, Pfizer swings and Moderna swings, both for upside. So we'll keep an eye on those. And yeah, I will. Hopefully, y'all had a great trading session. We sure did. So if you're interested, we'll leave the link in the bio. And hope y'all have a great rest of your nights.